A contractor turning out a highly profitable but also highly toxic and dangerous insect killer for Allied. It was a shabby-looking little operation housed in a converted gas station along Route 10.
What was made here was Keepone, chemically just a few molecules away from DDT, aldrin, and dieldrin, all human killers now banned in this country.
These are some of the men who helped to make it. Nicky Schoen, 24 years old. His brain is being scanned. He has to go through this because doctors are convinced that some of the pesticide he inhaled is embedded in his brain. Dale Gilbert, massive amounts of the pesticide in his blood and liver. Doctors believe he may also have it in his brain because he can't keep his eyes from flickering and twitching. J.O. Rogers, hospitalized 5 times since nervous tremors forced him to quit his job. Now doctors give him simple tests to see whether he could do a factory job again. Nicky Schoen has the highest ketone count in his body of any of the victims. One doctor says he has 37,000 times more ketone in his liver than is permitted in a public sewer. Now the doctors here at the Medical College of Virginia wonder whether the abnormal readings they've gotten through this brain scan machine can explain Nicky's loss of memory, his talk of suicide, the sometimes violent outbursts that cause Nicky to smash his fist through a hospital window. Other patients, normally calm and responsible, have recently turned violent too, injuring their wives or children. Under a microscope, tissue samples show ketone particles embedded inside the individual cells of Nicky's body. Magnified 100,000 times, this is part of a single cell. Normal fibers here, but over here, the white particles of ketone. Doctors don't know how the body absorbs it or how to make the body get rid of it.
My husband may die or he may go insane. It can happen to any of them, and it's happening elsewhere. It could have been avoided, and people need to know that it can be avoided. Industry needs to know that. It's important.
The men who have been stricken worked here. When the plant was operating, this whole environment was permeated with ketone dust. It got into the men's lungs, settled on their clothing, also in the coffee and sandwiches they ate when they often ate outdoors here. The ketone dust is still thick on the pipes and equipment. That's the reason it's being cut up. When it's all cut up, cleaned off, then it'll be put into a plastic-lined pit and buried on orders of the health authorities of the state of Virginia, who forced this plant to close. A plant ironically named Life Sciences.
I don't know how much anybody wants to go into this, but I think it's important to say that most, if not all of the men who have been affected by ketone are sterile, and our children have ketone in their bodies. And the possibility that our children may not be able to reproduce or reproduce healthy children, it's more than criminal. It's just unthinkable. But it's a possibility.
Do the doctors tell you that that's a possibility?
Yes, it's a possibility. They say it is.
Not only was the welfare of the workers ignored, so was that of the general public.
It may strike you as incredible because it is, but this air pollution control monitoring device is located only a block away from the plant, right down there. But nobody caught the fact that ketone was literally being poured into the air. All officials did was measure the dust around. Nobody analyzed it. Nobody knew or cared about ketone. When they finally got around to analyzing some old samples a few weeks ago, it turned out that half the dust was ketone.
At this point, it is important to remember that all the ketone patents were owned by the Allied Chemical Company, that all of Life Sciences production was bought by Allied. Allied had run experiments over 15 years, which repeatedly showed that ketone was a highly toxic poison. Allied also had long experience manufacturing ketone itself in this pilot plant on its own property in Hopewell before it farmed out the job to Life Science. And the two owners of Life Science, Virgil Huntofte and William Moore, had themselves been senior officials at Allied. Virgil Huntofte was an Allied plant manager. William Moore, a chemist and chemical engineer, was director of research for Allied's agricultural division, which made ketone.
I trusted two men that sat in a room and told me that there was absolutely nothing out there that could hurt me. I trusted in the fact that we have enough protection agencies now that a man shouldn't have to walk into a plant and wonder whether it's safe to work.
The two men you trusted were the two men who owned the plant.
Mr. Moore and Mr. Huntofte said and told me that there was absolutely nothing back there that would hurt a human being.
Did you tell him that ketone was harmless?
No. That's for sure, that we would not have said a thing like that.
You didn't say that ketone was harmless to humans?
No.
They let me down. They lied to me, and for that reason, I feel like that they lied to these men also through me. They lied to me.
That's a serious accusation to make against any man.
I just made it, and without regret.
The man responsible for forcing the ketone plant to shut down was state health official and epidemiologist Dr. Robert Jackson.
We have measured ketone in the river, in the sludge or the slurry at the bottom of the river, in the dirt. We've measured it in shellfish and fish miles and miles and miles downriver from the plant, 30 to 40 miles. All of this area in which Hopewell resides provides the aquifer for the entire southeastern Virginia and Tidewater area. Whether it will be now or 6 months from now or 10 years from now, ketone will be in their water supply.
We remind you that before setting up Life Sciences, Virgil Huntofty was a plant manager at Allied, and William Moore was an Allied director of research.
My problem, I want to be candid with you, is what we have here in no small way is a whodunit.
I want to ask you, Mr. Moore, whether you've seen any of these materials which were put out by Allied Chemical, studies sponsored by Allied Chemicals. We have 3 of these blue books. Right on the cover, Keep On, Compound 1189, Allied Chemical, General Chemical Division. Now, this was published in July 1961.
Are you familiar with these materials?
No,
Never seen these?
never seen it.
Right in the summary, very top, the characteristic effect of this compound is the development of DDT-like tremors, the severity of which depends upon dosage level and duration of exposure, quote unquote, from the first sentence of the summary. You didn't know about this?
No.
Mr. Moore, let me read you something that Allied Chemical gave to us this afternoon. Now, this is a direct quote from an Allied Chemical spokesman. We went to the Allied Chemical, asked, who is the nation's expert on Keep On? And the Allied Chemical spokesman said, quote, the nation's expert in the manufacture of Keep On, totally knowledgeable about the hazards of the product and the safeguards necessary to produce it, is Mr. Moore.
Well, that's an interesting comment.
Is that true?
Well, certainly not.
I'm a reporter, and this leaves me at a loss. Allied Chemical, which is a big outfit with a lot of experience in this, says you're the nation's leading expert.
Well, I certainly know the chemistry of Keep On.
Totally knowledgeable about the hazards of the product and the safeguards necessary to produce it?
I would say no. I haven't seen these data.
The spokesman also said, quote, the responsibility for the men, speaking of the men at your plant, rests with Life Sciences. Had they told you that before?
No.
I think if it was me, you know, that I knew that I had this poison and I put it in his food each day and I knew it was poisoning, you know, they would, and something, he got sick or he died, they'd have me for murder. And how can people run plants, you know, and knowing, which I believe with all my heart, that they had to know, these 2 men, Mr. Huntoff and Mr. Moore, which are very intelligent, and they knew what was going on, you know, and they just let these men go in there and work.
Yeah.